With the fourth pick, Jonathan Gavoni says the Kings will be drafting Jaden Ivey.
There we go.
But his explainer was pretty interesting. He says the Kings aren't Ivey's preferred destination, but have proved willing to take players without the benefit of workouts and medical information in the past, doing so as recently as last year with Davion Mitchell. Many around the NBA feel this pick is available for a team looking to swap picks and move up the draft for Ivey. Detroit, Indiana, Oklahoma City are among those that could potentially exchange an asset to help the Kings' chances of contending for a playoff spot with the likes of, Jeremy Grant, Miles Turner, and Lou Dort, a few potential options that rival teams point to. In the event that the Kings elect to hold on to this pick and prefer to avoid the drama associated with picking a player against his camp's will, the candidacy of Keegan Murray might be gaining steam with head coach-to-be Mike Brown. Owner Vivek Ranadive is also said to be a proponent of selecting him. Okay.
Yeah.
Can we try to translate some of this?
Break it down.
Ivey's preferred destination, not Sacramento. Okay. We'll separate that.
Okay.
The next thing that jumped out to me is when he rattled off some of the names it could be interested in. Oh, Jeremy Grant, Miles Turner, Lou Dort, a few potential options that rival teams point to. So some rival teams like, yeah, maybe they could Lou Dort, Miles Turner, I don't know, maybe Jeremy Grant. This line kills me. In the event the Kings elect to hold on to this pick and prefer to avoid the drama associated with picking a player against his camp's will. Okay, couple of things. This is garbage. This is garbage. Even if Jaden Ivey's camp doesn't want him in Sacramento, Jaden Ivey is represented by CAA, huge agency in the sports world. And ironically enough, the same agency that represents Tyrese Halliburton. Eric Mintz is the guy. He represents Jaden Ivey too. So I'm not necessarily surprised that he would prefer his client not to be in Sacramento.
Yeah.
But do you think that's going to scare Sacramento away? Like, what drama is going to come if Sacramento selects Jaden Ivey? Is Jaden Ivey not going to show up? Is he not going to play next year? Like, I don't totally understand that. I remember last year on draft night when the Kings selected Davion Mitchell, and he was surprised by it.
He didn't look happy.
Right.
And I remember all of us being like, what? But not a lot of people knew much about Davion Mitchell, his personality, and what he was about at that time. But yeah, didn't look that happy. And again, it didn't matter if they weren't happy. It didn't matter if they don't want to go, because if you get drafted and you have to play your rookie year, then you have to play.
Then this line, Murray might be gaining steam with head coach to be Mike Brown. What does that mean? He might be. Am I looking too much into this? Is it because the draft's 8 days away? I'm searching here, but what is it? He might be. So he might not be? Or he might, so he kind of could be?
There you go. That's what might means, right? Kind of could be.
Now, in all fairness, The Athletic did put out a piece kind of breaking down all the wings in this draft. They highlighted Keegan Murray and said the Golden State Warriors have had reps at like everything he's been doing. That it seems like the Warriors would love the opportunity to have Keegan Murray on the team. Of course, they don't necessarily have the assets to do it. The next line, owner Vivek Ranadive is also said to be a proponent of selecting him. Cool. I mean, I guess he wanted Mark Jackson at one point too. The reality is this has to be Monty McNair's call.
Yeah, I was like, where's Monty's name in that?
That's what I wanted to circle back to.
Okay.
There's no intel here.
No.
They don't really know what Monty McNair wants to do here. And I think, yeah, this is the point in which, agents are going to start pushing a little bit. When media members start pushing, they're trying to dig. I mean, you hear even like our guy James Ham upset that the Kings haven't had like media draft workouts. Like people are kind of irritated covering because they want to know what's going on, right? But
transparency, access.
As far as a player not wanting, or I was trying to say not wanting to, not a preferred destination. Mm-hmm. We've heard that a lot over the years in Sacramento. I don't love hearing that because it's just the reputation of Sacramento. And let's be honest about it. If you're an agent of one of these top draft picks, you have seen the cycle in Sacramento. You've seen multiple coaching changes, front office changes.
Being told something and then it not happening. Yes, that happens everywhere in the world, but yes.
You want to get your client in the best possible scenario. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure there's that angle. And it's also probably a little bit of fit where it's like, wait, my client Tyrese Halliburton didn't really fit there with De'Aaron Fox. They traded him. They're going to draft Jaden Ivey? There's another guard? So I get all that. I guess my whole point to reading all this morning is not really worried about it.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see what happens on draft night, but I just, nothing really jumped out to me. What did you take away from what I just read?
That's what keeps happening, right? Like, I think from every mock draft, from every report, nothing's really standing out as like, that is groundbreaking. That is something that we need to know. When I love seeing anything new, but I think it's like you said, I think everyone's reaching for something new, which, by the way, I would never want to be a journalist, a reporter, any of those things, right? I don't want to break news. I don't want to do any of those things. And these people that do that are looking for things. So they're trying to do their job without reporting anything false, and they're searching. They're reaching.
And I think there's a line at the end that some Kings fans see and go, oh, Vivek might want Keegan Murray.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any secret out there that the Kings would probably be interested in Keegan Murray. Now, the reality is, are they willing to take someone like him at 4? When I read that, and I don't want to take too much away from this piece, but when I read that, to me, it sounds like Jaden Ivey's people like think the Kings are drafting Jaden Ivey, and they're putting a last-stitch public pressure to trade the pick. It's not his preferred destination. We're putting it out there.